Like, share, and subscribe to my channel as I continue to provide you with trusted information for you to use to make decision. Now, the PNP, and look back at its history in terms of its leaders. And I'm going to say that the PNP substantially is defined by Michael Manley, just as the GLP is substantially defined by Edward Siago. And a critical part of that is what both gentlemen did during the time that they were leaders of their respective political parties. For Mr. Michael Manley, it's about his wit, his charm, his eloquence, his elocution, his rhetoric, his vision. Those were some of the hallmarks that Michael Manley left as a part of his legacy to Jamaica, to the world. And those are some of the issues that define what people are expected of leaders. And therefore, when we had a Portia Simpson Miller, people were somewhat enthralled by that because it was similar to the style used by Michael Manley. When we had P.J. Patterson, a number of persons were disappointed, not with his leadership. No, I'm not discussing what he did as a leader. I'm talking about his style was totally different in terms of his leadership style was somewhat different from Michael Manley. Michael Manley was somewhat of a charismatic leader, while Mr. Patterson was somewhat of a nonchalant, um, passive sort of leadership display. And therefore, there were two different persons, and therefore, P.J. Patterson would have been argued and go down in Jamaica's history as not like Michael. That's what a number of persons would have to say to you. P.J. Patterson was not like Michael. Why was he not like Michael? Michael was charismatic, and PJ was, as I said, passive. And because PJ leadership style was somewhat of a passive leadership style, people always think that PJ is not as good as Michael Manley, despite whatever he did or didn't do. Now, when we look at Mark Golden leadership style is, I would say currently not defined in terms of when I look at who leaders are and some of the expressions using for leadership. More likely, I'm saying not necessarily defined, but it's more of maybe a participator style leadership where he does not have that charismatic flair that a number of persons are looking for. He doesn't have that. He has the wit. He has the verbiage because he's a lawyer. So he has those, and therefore is not deficient in those areas. But what he's deficient in is his charismatic approach. Now, if the PNP had a different leader, one that was charismatic, and I saw a number of persons that argue for Lisa Anna, would Andrew Holness have won the election that he won when he actually defeated Mr. Peter Phillips? Would he have actually won that election if it were Lisa Anna and Andrew Holness? That is a question that will never be answered because if does not actually make itself way into a discussion looking at reality. So that cannot be discussed. You can argue what your perspective is. I won't because there is no reason for arguing it because you don't go up against him and therefore there's no matter that we can discuss. What you can do is extrapolate, project, forecast, but those are not reality. No, the reality is currently we are seeing Mark Golding, and as I said to you before, is a participatory, not passive, but participatory leadership style, which people in Jamaica do not really like because the Jamaica society, and we need to understand clearly, Jamaica society is an emotional one. And what person we want to do, because Jamaica society is an emotional one, we are energized and enthused and enthralled with charismatic individuals, whether it's a teacher, a preacher, a beggar, a seller. We are enthralled by those individuals because of the emotional state, the emotional approach, the emotional DNA of people in Jamaica. And whether you're rich, poor, or in between, we have that DNA as Jamaicans. So I want to take the discussion now into Damion Crawford. And I want to look at Damion Crawford's speech, look at his presentation. You can look at many other things to sort of see the style that Damion Crawford has and whether Damion's style reminds you of anyone in the past relating to leadership anywhere across the world. So I'm going to take you to Damion's speech and I'm going to actually put it in my description as well for you to go and review as many times that you want to review and remind yourself or reflect on who Damion reminds you of. Let us go.
You have a look at Bridget. I'm a friend, you know, me and Mr. Teacher, you were together, tough time. All him do for him, son minister is exercise. Every day I'm part together. So when a man said to you, man, you know, I left PNP, you know, say PNP now treat you good, and then now give you a seat, I say, me no seat PNP. I am a build up a cancer protection hospital. I am a increase the number of medicine that is on the Job for Elderly program. I am a Fenton Ferguson PNP. When they say, go on with your business, because they use you, I say I'm willing to be used, because I see Montague now, and Montague now fooling on Angela lead him astray. And Montague not even call upon an equal power if him don't know what to do. Because when Peter Bunting did kind of frustrated him, say, I need the hands of God. This man say, need the hands of a Wobia man. Not even an equal power. But when they talk about PNP, I am a mocha. I am an anti-gang. I am a coming together to fight crime as a people. Peter Bunting PNP. When they talk about development and growth, I am a man who understands the importance of knowledge. Because you cannot say power and don't say knowledge when knowledge is power. And there's a man called Philip Palwell that calls for all of us to have a cell phone in our hands so that we can access knowledge. Somehow we have phone, I call phone. But there's a problem with some PNP we only go up on phone to see people picture. Information is the basis of knowledge, and knowledge is the basis of power. The phone in your hand is power. I am a reviving backside, Philip Palwell, PNP. When I hear them talk about local government, with Desmond McKenzie, we are going for America's worst model. I'm afraid still. But I don't know him get them suit. And the first man, I see with a breadfruit suit. But I know it's the People's National Party that entrenched local government into the Constitution. It's the People's National Party that have given real power to your councillor. And so I'm a Noel Ascot PNP. And Auntie Babsy. Auntie Babsy just wait for retire. I mean, not even Auntie Babsy say nothing from she. Auntie Babsy never say nothing. But I'm going to take children out of prison, Lisa Hannah PNP. And so when you look, man for man, I'm a building hotels, greater investment, pension for hotel workers, Wickham McNeil PNP. I am a water for rural communities, over 50 programs, Bobby Pickersgill PNP. I mean, I want to feel no way, but I'm Angela Brownberg PNP. Yeah. Because me say orange juice, and Angela say pineapple juice. Andrew come and say rum. Rum no in it, no rum coming in. So me work with orange juice and fight out rum. I'm a Raymond Price, legalize ganja, decriminalize ganja PNP. I'm a pass legislation increase the jury act, improve upon the courts. Mark Golden, PNP. So there is so much PNP for me to be. It's going to take 100 years to them get PNP out of me. And I'm here because I understand that there's a man called Adli Shah. Him get a fake award the other day. We say that he's the best minister of finance in the Caribbean. I hear says a voting thing, him have to text to vote. That's why I'm phone bill so high. Him vote for himself. Turn up the thing. Turn up the thing.
No. Who does he remind you of? I'm asking the question, who does he remind you of? Rhetoric, style, catch, charisma, flair. No, a number of persons may want to say, I'm not good like Michael. That's my point. He reminds you of Michael. And because he reminds you of Michael, he has that flair that Jamaicans love. And Jamaican loving that flair, that style, that passion, that zeal, that emotional acumen, that emotional intelligence, that wit, that class, that verbiage. Would he be a better choice as leader for the PNP? Is he a future leader for the PNP? Should he replace Mark Golden for the PNP as leader? Should he be the one vying against Andrew Holness in the upcoming 2025 general elections? I'm just asking these questions. Now, some person may want to say who are not aware of it. Oh, Damion Crawford is trying to. I'm saying to you, I have taught this gentleman at Kingston College. I knew him from then. And when he went on campus, I was there when he became guild president. Damion is always this guy. Apart from the fact that Damion Crawford is an exemplary athlete, a super fast 100-meter runner. I've seen it with my eyes. Sometimes I really wonder why he did not actually go up and do tracks. But that's another matter. He would always run for my hall when I was at UWI, Taylor Hall. He's a Taylorite and I'm a Taylorite. So, of course, we're all brothers. But that is not the fact that I'm actually talking about. And those are not bias my actually opinion of what is actually going on. I'm saying look at his presentation here and look at all Damion's other presentations and tell me, I want you to tell me, honestly, if Damion does not remind you of Joshua, which is Michael Manley. He has that same flair. Now, what we do know is that Damion clearly does not have that base on the ground. Because if he did, he wouldn't have lost his seat. Because Jamaicans love that sort of verbiage. But then when you look at what Damion tried to do when he was an MP, then you can understand why he was technically voted out. Damion's concept was education. But you may ask, why did they vote him out and he was for them? That's the very point. Jamaicans often do not actually see themselves beyond today or tomorrow. And do not see themselves against their present hurt and wound. And therefore, they'll make the decision of accepting gifts and bribe instead of looking at the long-term benefits of life. And therefore, that's a part of the reason why we would have problem with Damion. Damion and I were born and grown in Waltham Park, and I left Waltham Park and went to Augustown. All right. So Damion and I understand the power and value of education. It is education why Paul Bourne is here. It's education why Damion is where he's at. Now, I am saying to you clearly that we need to examine issues, and Jamaica many times don't examine issues, which is a part of the reason why I will actually vote for food as against education. Damien's policy in his constituency in St. Andrew was that of education. He wanted to do classes for children, CXC classes, and other educational things. And people voted against education for what? For food. It happened during Michael Manley era again. If you go back to slavery, Jamaicans have given up many of their leaders because of food and current opportunities without seeing the long-term benefits of what people are doing. So therefore, Damion was actually hosted, and I'm using the word hosted here, because many people didn't understand what Damien's vision was for them. They said that they wanted to eat no. But Damien's was giving them the base, the tools for them to go and do better. And they could not see it, they couldn't understand it. And therefore they did what they did. Now I am saying to you, do not look at that to examine, to evaluate, to assess, to analyze, to forecast Damien's similarity with Michael Joshua Manley. When you look at the presentation of Damion Crawford here that I showed you earlier, and you can actually go and actually view it for many times that you so want in the description. Damion is a close reflection of Michael Manley, even more so than Portia Simpson Miller or Sister P. Where are we going? Should the PNP replace Mark Golding with Damion Crawford if they were to lose the upcoming 2025 general elections? And if Mark Golding is to win the 2025 general election, should he serve for a while and actually relinquish that post to Damion? Would Damion be a good leader? The question is, we're not sure about that. Only time, which is going to be history, will actually answer that question. But what we do know is that Damion Crawford is reflecting many of the traits, the characteristics that Jamaicans love. Charisma, emotional acumen, verbiage, laughter. He embodies all of that in how he presents and what he does. And I'm asking you, is he the next leader of the People's National Party? Is he? It's clear from his presentation that the PNP has not treated him well. Look at some of the things that he said and you realize the PNP has not treated him well. He has used a negative to try to make it positive. What is clear, the PNP has not treated him well. But despite how the PNP has treated him, it's clear that Damion Crawford is a charismatic leader. Is he a transformational leader? We have not seen it yet. Even during his time as being an MP, he really didn't transform the place that he was given. He didn't transform the mindset of the people. But that was only for a term, right? A short time. Does he have it in him to transform the basic mindset of people? Does he have it in him to transform people's vision of themselves, their identity as a people? Does he have it in him to give persons a vision and to create a structure that is better for Jamaicans? Only time will actually answer those questions. But we do know that Damion Crawford is a similar reflection of Michael Joshua Manley. Is he needed by the people of Jamaica at this time? You need to answer that question. Would you vote for Damion Crawford if he were going up against Andrew Holness? That's something for you to also answer. Is Damion Crawford the person that people are now looking for in the 21st century, in this AI era, to lead and guide them, when possible we're going to be replaced by robots, machines? Is Damion the future of the PNP? And if he were to be the leader, would we vote for him? Those are some questions that we need to ask. Those are some issues that are going to be critical to where Jamaica moves forward. What do you have to say? I want to hear your thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel as I continue to provide you with trusted information for you to use to make decisions. Have yourselves an awesome